9500.
Dollar matters to these families and these kids. 855-916-9500. As we enter the noon hour of the 2026 Care-a-thon presented by Duval Asphalt, a new number is on the board. It's $142,448. That's pretty darn good. We're rolling in the Care-a-thon, but we have another opportunity for you to make a donation and have that donation go even further. Our presenting sponsors, Duval Asphalt, are back again, dropping a $20,000 challenge on the table. If we can raise $20,000 before the 1 o'clock newscast, they'll drop 20 in, so that donation of $100 you make will be doubled through 1 o'clock, thanks to Duval Asphalt. Scampy is here from the Jumbo Shrimp. Thank you, Scampy, for being here. And they've had a homestand last week, on the road this week, back home next week, dancing a little bit with the OG mascot man, Curtis Dvorak, the original Jackson DeVille. How are his moves, by the way?
His moves are good. I asked him where he learned that belly move. Where did he learn that little belly shake? And he knows where it came from.
He does.
My dude.
Now with the Jacksonville Zoo and Duval Ford, but you
That's
also
right.
donated. What did you bring today?
I brought you a few bins of costumes from my collection. That is about, there's 3 huge Tupperwares of hats and costumes that is about is 4% of what I have in my garage. So over 21 years wearing a life-size stuffed animal costume, you gather quite a bit of costumes and wigs and all kinds of stuff. So every one of those things in there has a pretty funny story behind it. Some of them were all part of late night, gatherings. So good times in those costumes.
Well, thank you for giving of those. And since Scampy is here, I think we had one go away. If I'm not mistaken, we still have one offer. Season tickets for 2027. There's
Yes.
still one left. So two tickets for the entirety of the 2027 Jumbo Shrimp season. Anyone who donates $2,000 or more. It's that
Nice.
simple.
Nice.
Call 855-916-9500. Tickets for 2 to the 2027 season of the Jumbo Shrimp. We want someone to be there, but they have to call 855-916-9500. You've seen the benefits of the Child Cancer Fund through your years of supporting Care-a-thon.
Yeah, I call it fortunately. I've been blessed to be able to do work at Nemours and Wolfson Children's Hospital over the years as Jackson DeVille, and go visit the kids and see the work that the doctors and stuff do, and then also see what these families go through. I'll tell you that, like, people talk about what's your favorite memories of Jackson, and jumping off a light tower is great, and winning a big football game and catching a field goal from Josh Scobie from 59 yards to beat the Colts. Those are cool. But I'm telling you, the moments that I'll remember forever and I'll cherish forever are moments like when I'm going around visiting kids in the hospital. And I remember one specifically. We were walking through, and it's in an ICU, and you go in there and you see the mom next to their child, and I just walked up. I'm in the costume, and I get kind of out of character, and I just held her hand and put my arm around her, and just like seeing what she's going through, like I just start sobbing, and we walk out of there, and I go to the person who's kind of walking us around. I said, I need a minute, because like it's just, she said thank you to me. She said thank you for being here to me, and I was just like that. Like, no, it is an honor to be here with you at this moment of your life when you're going through the biggest challenge you could possibly ever go through. To add some tiny bit of levity and make somebody smile in that moment is incredible. But what people are doing on the phones right now, and this money that you're raising, when you talk about donating to a foundation or a charity, you want to know that it matters and it makes a difference. Folks, this stuff makes a massive difference, and you're hearing it all day today with the stories. The money you're donating is making a real difference in people's lives.
What's the number?
What's the number? 855-916-9500. He's tired of saying it, folks.
I know.
He's like, please, somebody else say it. But call in, folks. You are helping people in our area, helping locals, and you're helping people going through the most unimaginable challenge of their life.
Those non-medical, every non-medical expense you could ever imagine, from bill payment assistance. We heard from OJ earlier that their mortgage was paid for a month thanks to the Child Cancer Fund and donors. $20 for a gift card to get gas tank filled so that they can go to treatment at Nemours. It's all of those little things that can fall through the cracks. And unfortunately, when you've got a kid battling cancer, the only thing that matters is that child and keeping the family together. You can help keep the family together and help fill those cracks with a little bit of generosity. No amount is too small. I know I say that all the time. 855-916-9500. Let's use up all of the match from Duval Asphalt. There's a $20,000 challenge to the Jacksonville, Northeast Florida community. How can we ensure that that happens? Curtis, thank you for all you do for us every year.
Hey, honored to be here, and I'll grab the costumes whenever you're done tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good,
All
brother.
right.
Thank you so much. I want to bring in a really cool dude who we got to know a bit ago. His name is Zach Rushing. He's performing at 5 in Jacksonville tomorrow night. You may have heard him or seen him. He's got 5 million followers on Facebook, 3 million on TikTok, originally from Biloxi, Mississippi, and on the circuit as a comedian coming to Jacksonville. But when I heard that you were coming to Jacksonville and then I heard your story, I said, well, you should be a part of the Care-a-thon because you're a cancer survivor, not one time over.
No, 3 times, buddy.
3 times over.
Yes, sir.
When did your journey begin for you?
My senior year of college, I was playing football at the University of Wyoming, and I just kind of noticed that my body, I wasn't able to keep up and do the things that I normally was doing. I was having a real hard time, breathing. I was having a hard time keeping my strength up, even though I was putting in the work in the weight room and eating correctly and whatnot. And about the second game after we played Texas and Austin, I just started to develop a little bit of a lump on my neck here, and the doctors were, team doctors. They're supposed to make a bad hit. You might have busted out a burst or something like that. And I told him, I said, my bad, Scamp.
Scampy is sitting right next to us here.
Come on, Big
All right,
Daddy.
here we are.
I told him, I said, I think something's wrong with me. They said, we're going to get you checked out. So I went over to Cheyenne, Wyoming, and it took me a biopsy over there, and it came back 2 weeks later that it was stage 4 Hodgkin's lymphoma. And that ended my football career, but it put me on a different path of life, and it really made me start to appreciate just to be here every day when I wake up. Now it's a gift, and I'm a big supporter of what y'all are doing here. I do it a lot with my charity as well. Anytime that you can help out a family that's having to go through this, especially with a child, when you feel helpless and you're giving everything that you can to try to get them healthy and being there for them. You give up everything. You give up your job. You give up your time. You give up all your relationships, your friendships, everything to be there for your family. The least that we can do is help out and make sure that these families are taken care of in their time of need.
Well, then put a challenge out to the Jacksonville community.
I'm going to put a challenge out. That ain't no problem at all. If y'all dial 855-916-9500, I can guarantee you just from the short amount of time that I've spent with this group here that I'm with, that your money is going to helping these families know that they have somebody out there that hasn't forgotten about them, and it wants them to succeed in the battle against cancer. Cancer is a fight at all times. This isn't we ain't putting the big padded gloves on and whatnot. This is a bare knuckle fight. You got to go into it, and it takes an army to beat an opponent like cancer. And it's not just within the family; it's within the community. And I love what y'all are doing here. I'm a huge supporter of it. I'm going to pledge $1,000 right now to you.
Wait, what?
I'm going to pledge $1,000 right now to y'all.
Cowbell. He's pledging $1,000.
I got you. And I want everybody in the community out there to follow my lead, and let's go ahead and in the next hour, let's match that challenge that was put up by Duval Asphalt. Let's do that.
Amazing, Zach. Thank you so much.
No
that
problem
means
at
so
all,
much.
buddy. I'm happy
Zach
to be here.
Rushing performing at 5 in Jacksonville tomorrow night. Thank you. Look at that. Even Scampy gives him a hug as he makes a donation of $1,000 to the Child Cancer Fund. You're right. It is a fight, and these kids are resilient, and they are fighters. You were older in your journey. They don't know, which is probably good. They're a bit naive to it all.
And I have a different approach. I think we spoke about this a little bit earlier. I have a little bit of a different approach when it comes to cancer than most people, because I remember one instance that changed my life forever. I was in the radiation waiting room, and I went to MD Anderson out in Houston. It is a well-oiled machine out there. It is. If they tell you that your doctor's appointment or your radiation appointment is at 10:03, at 10:02, somebody's walking out calling your name. We had the same. We were doing it 5 days a week. Every morning when I would go in there, I was at 10:03. This little girl, her name was Cato. I'll never forget her. She went in at 10:05. We were in there. It was 4 days before Christmas, and I was sitting in the waiting room with her waiting to get called in, and I heard her ask her mom and dad. She said, "Hey, Mommy, Daddy, do you think Santa's going to be able to find me just because I'm staying in the hospital this year?" And I had to listen to her mom and dad say, "No, honey, Santa's not coming this year. We got to get you better, and he's going to come back and see you extra special next year." As soon as I got done with my radiation appointment, which anybody who's ever been through a treatment like that knows it takes everything out of you. You want to go straight home and go to sleep. This is back in the day. This is back when Toys R Us was still thriving, okay? I went straight to Toys R Us, and I went and bought $600 worth of I went back to Toys R Us and bought $600 worth of Legos because that was her thing. The next morning when I walked in, she was having to stay there through the Christmas holidays. I walked in, and I handed her those Toys R Us bags, and I said, "Baby, Santa come and saw me last night. He ain't going to be able to find you this year. He wanted to make sure he ain't forgot about you." And it was so weird because that was the only day in 6 months worth of treatment that the nurse came in and called her name before mine. It was on that morning, and as soon as the nurse walked in and called her name, she said, "Kato, baby, are you ready to go?" And it was the first time in 4 months since she started treatments I heard that little girl say, "Yeah, hurry up, we got to get this over with. I want to come back and play with my toys." I guess an idea in my head to where you got to go into cancer, you got to go in fighting. It's a mentality thing. Yes, what everyone does with research and the doctors and stuff, they're amazing and whatnot, but I believe that a certain percentage of it lays on the individual who's going through it and their will to want to live another day.
And these kids have that will. Their families have the will as well. If you would like to see Zach Rushing tomorrow at 5 in Jacksonville, what time's the show?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Would love to see it. We're done with Care-a-thon at 1, so we might have to swing over to 5 Points and watch it.
I'd be honored if y'all came.
Thank you, and thank you for your generosity.
No problem
Part
at all.
of the Child Cancer Fund is not just the financial support services that's helping the family, but there are programs that are available through Nemours and funded directly with Child Cancer Fund donations that are really helping kids make sure that they can move from one level to the next, high school into college and beyond. Dr. Gabriel Arajo and Courtney Toomey with Nemours in the neurocognitive care program. I just call you Dr. Gabe. That's what everyone calls you, right?
Dr. Gabe is fine.
That's what everyone calls
That'll
you, right?
work, yes.
What is it that you all are doing for these kids? And before you get there, 855-916-9500.
So, as Zach mentioned, this is kind of the fight after the fight. So we know that survivorship for childhood cancer is increasing. It's what we're trying to do to increase quality of life after the cancer battle is complete. So for childhood cancer survivors, they face risks for, different types of social and emotional issues, cognitive challenges, and that's because of some of these life-saving treatments that are used to treat cancer. Those can cause cognitive late effects and affect later intellectual development and academic achievement. So our job is to be part of the broader team to assess neurocognitive functioning for these kids, to assess their social and emotional needs, and to make sure that we're doing early identification for these kids, and to make sure that they're set up for academic success, social and emotional success as they navigate past the survivorship part.
And Courtney, what's your role in that?
I help with the school piece of that. So after they've had a neurocognitive evaluation, I help assist them in getting plans set up to return to school, get hospital homebound services if they're not able to go to school during treatment, or if it's post-treatment to help make sure they're getting all the supports that they need to be successful in the school part.
And so 504 plans?
504 plans, IEPs, hospital homebound plans, getting medical documentation. I work closely with our social workers in the HEMOC department to help make sure these kids are not, that their treatment and that their medical needs are not impacting their learning, to make sure they're as set up as they need to be for future success.
These kids are on a lifelong journey, so
Yes.
making sure that they transition
Appropriately throughout.
age appropriate is so vital.
Correct. And it's often not during treatment and after treatment. A lot of times it can be years later. They have a supportive elementary school and they go to transition into medical school or middle school, and those medical late effects are becoming more prominent, and we can assist then in making sure that they're still set up for what they need. And that's where our partnership with the Child Cancer Fund has been huge to allow us to provide those supports for families during treatment and as well as years post-treatment.
And your generosity at 855-916-9500 can ensure that those soon-to-be adults have that service available to them for the long haul. We want that to be part of the longer-term care, in addition to the short-term acute needs of the family support, family retreat weekends at Camp Boggy Creek and the like. Brian Middleton, back in Master Control, do you have our call on the line? Can you just tell me in the speaker?
Yes.
Okay. Guys, hang tight where you are, but we have someone special on the line. This is Francis Luna. And Francis, I want to say hello, and you have Kalani and Josiah. Is that right, Francis? Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. We're all here. How you doing?
Very nice to meet you. Thank you for calling in today.
Hi. Yes, nice to meet y'all too.
And tell me, Kalani, how old is Kalani, and what's Kalani's story?
So Kalani is 11 years old, and her story is we actually found out she had B-cell leukemia on New Year's.
Of this year, 2026?
Yes, sir.
Wow. And what's Josiah's story?
Josiah, we just recently found out on July 1st. I can't say the first word, it's very long, but it's like pulmon something, blastoma. And so it was on his left lung, and he actually just came home last week. He had his left lung removed.
So, in a matter of 7 months, two of your children are diagnosed?
Yes, sir.
Goodness.
Yeah.
I hear Josiah
Um,
back there. Is that Josiah who we hear?
yeah, that's him. He's eating some biscuits and scrambled eggs. he,
That sounds pretty
I
good,
don't know about
actually.
anybody else, coming home from hospital food, but he enjoys his meals.
How? What's Kalani's journey looking like? Where is he at in treatment?
Um, so Kalani right now is, she should be receiving, because she just came home. Actually, we came with Josiah home last week, or yeah, last week, and then this week Kalani went in on Monday, for some chemo, and she just came home. That was her last hospital admit, unless she has any issues. But she should be going into the backpack phase where she carries chemo in the backpack for about 28 days. But she's getting closer to maintenance. But with B cell leukemia, it's a longer journey, about 2.5 years. With Josiah, they did let us know his test results, and the lung tissue that came back um, came back negative. All the scans came back negative, so they do have to do chemo, for prevention and things like that, for 27 weeks. So they said about 6 months, and after that he would be done. So it's completely different than the B cell leukemia. It's a little bit of a longer journey for her.
Wow.
But for him, once he's done, they said he'll be done, and he gets scans every 3 months. Is just a little bit harder. Older kids, they can tell you when something's wrong or when they don't feel good. Josiah is about to turn 2 in December, so he can't really, you know, he can talk, say, hear words here and there, but he can't really tell us if there's anything wrong. So we just leave it at the hands of the doctors, and blood test results to see if his counts are low and things like that. But Wilson's and Nemours are really, at it and quickly and take care of everything. And I do appreciate everything that they've been doing for my family.
855-916-9500, and this is a family that's in the fight now times two, and a family that could use some generosity and support, and I would love to have every phone ring in honor of this family, Francis and Kalani and Josiah. 855-916-9500, even if it's a $10 donation. Duval Asphalt will match that up to 20 grand. So $10 can become $20 to support both Kalani and Josiah. In fact, if you want to hook Kalani up with that IV backpack for $25, that's all it takes, a $25 donation, and then Kalani gets to pick what kind of backpack she wants to carry around that IV in. I think $25 is worthwhile given what you're going through and what Kalani's fight is all about. Francis, how has the Child Cancer Fund helped you so far?
They have definitely helped me. Not just the programs as far as like psychology help and things like that for therapy, because this is a lot that to go through, just myself and my daughter, but also financial assistance, because it is a lot, and times two, like you said. So they have helped me out financially with my bills in my home, or gas cards, or even food cards. They have really helped out a lot, and I really, really do appreciate every part of it. Because again, if I have to stay home, paychecks could be delayed or held off, and so that just really steps up. So I'm able to focus on them and what they have going on.
Francis, we have a number of volunteers who are here to receive a phone call from anyone who wants to donate. 855-916-9500. The financial support is helping your family right now that's in the fight with both Kalani and Josiah, who are both in treatment, and Josiah just home from the hospital on, I think it was August 5th, if I'm not mistaken. How's he been doing since he's been home and readjusting?
Yeah. With smaller kids, they're up and ready to go about after 1 or 2 days, because of the medication. But after that, he was kind of running around everywhere with the tube attached to him. So, like, little kids, smaller kids are really resilient, and they're just full of life even through it all.
If you could speak to someone, and you're speaking to thousands and thousands of people listening right now in Jacksonville, Francis. I mean, this is your home. Someone who's listening and considering, oh, maybe it sounds like a good cause and whatnot. What does a donation of any amount to the Child Cancer Fund mean to a family?
Financial assistance, programs that are available, not just to the child, but the parents as well, because they help the parents out as far as like therapy and things like that, because it's a lot to handle. Not everybody could just hold it in a bottle. It's good to speak to other people as well. But as far as getting back and forth, especially if you have long distance and food assistance and things like that.
Valuable. And it only takes one person calling 855-916-9500 and a donation of any amount, $10, $100, $1,000, $10,000, but truly no amount is too small. It will be in the community and in the hands of families that need it tomorrow, and the Child Cancer Fund will ensure that it'll be there. What have you learned, Francis, about Kalani and Josiah being mom and seeing them in this journey and this fight that they're on?
First, I learned from Kalani pretty much because, it was she was diagnosed first, so it better prepares me for Josiah. It it taught me more patience because you can't get results right away, and you just have to let it work, because as mothers we want this to quickly happen and for our children to get better. It also has brought us closer because we were always on the go, and we just have to stop and appreciate each other as well, and what we have during this time. Especially when other people have it a little bit maybe worse off. You just gotta keep your head up, and your children are watching you. So if they see that you're pushing, they're gonna be pushing forward as well.
We see both Kalani and Josiah, the photos. I love the boots, by the way, that Kalani has in those photos. Where'd you get those boots? Those are some pink boots, man. I love those.
Yeah, so she got them from Shein. Yes, she loves her boots. It doesn't matter how hot it is in Florida, you will always see her with some type of boots on.
Oh, she's beautiful. Kalani's beautiful, and your family is beautiful. And thank you for sharing your story with us. I know it's going to be a long journey, but Francis, I hope you've already felt the spirit of the community stepping up for you. But now that you're in this fraternity twice, and I know you didn't choose it, this was a card that you were dealt, and you wish you could give it back. Unfortunately, you can't give that back. But what the community can give you and what the Child Cancer Fund is giving you right now is lifelong support no matter what. There's financial assistance, but there's also the emotional part of it. And there's the psychosocial services. There's all the wraparound care services that Dr. Gabe and Courtney have been talking about as well. Francis, just know that this community has your back, and we're with you 1,000%, okay?
All right, thank you. I appreciate it. And I know you guys have my back. You have had it so far.
We'll always be there for you, Francis. Thank you for sharing your story, Kalani and Josiah's story. Let's hear it for Francis, Luna, Kalani, Josiah. Listen to that. That's for you guys. We wish you all the best in this journey. We need more calls, though. 855-916-9500. No amount is too small, and that donation is going to be doubled thanks to Duval Asphalt until 1 o'clock. 855-916-9500. I want to thank Zach Rushing, and again, he's at 5 tomorrow in Jacksonville. Zach, thank you. Dr. Gabe and Courtney, thank you for what you're doing every day for the kids, for the families, for the parents especially, but for those kiddos. Thank you for everything you guys do.
It's an honor to be involved. We're so happy to be involved.
Thank you for partnering with us.
What's that number?
855-916-9500. Come on, you guys.
One more time, Courtney.
855-916-9500.
Let's make it happen for Francis and Kalani and Josiah. The 2026 Care-a-thon presented by Duval Asphalt continues on 104.5 WOKV.
Let it shine just on the night like the 4th of July. 'Cause baby, you're a firework. Come on, show 'em what you're worth. Make 'em go, as you shoot across the sky. Baby, you're a fire.
Now, the WOKV First Alert Forecast.
A 7 on the WOKV weather meter on this Care-a-thon day. We are tracking mostly to partly sunny skies, hot and humid conditions this afternoon, reaching the lower to mid-90s. We'll see a few afternoon thunderstorms. We'll track on First Alert Doppler HD, trying to end through sunset. An isolated shower possibility for Friday Night Football or the Panthers and Jaguars preseason game on CBS 47. But overnight, we'll drop down to the mid to upper 70s. From the Action News Shack's First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Garrett Biedenball for 104.5 WOKV.
First Alert Traffic from the Strata Air Conditioning and Heating Traffic Center.
Southsiders heading down through St. Johns County, I-95 southbound. Watch out for a stalled vehicle before State Route 9B. That's over on the right shoulder. From the WOKV Traffic Center, I'm Brian Middleton.
Avoid the headaches of a traditional home sale and move on your timeline with the guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. Hi, everyone. It's Brian Kilmeade. Selling your home is one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make, so who you work with matters. My friends at Mark Spain Real Estate can help you sell your home hassle-free without the stress of putting your home on the market. Trust them to sell your home fast and for top dollar. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Checkmate. I'm Brendan Cecilia, founder of Checkmate Coatings.
And I'm Chester, Checkmate's chessman and, you may be surprised, newfound fan of American football.
Really? You?
Absolutely. Listen to this. Duval!
It's Duval, Chester. Duval.
That's what I said. Duval!
Ball.
Ball. The point is, Brendan, with football season approaching and friends dropping by your house to watch the games, there's no better time to spiff up your garage with a beautiful, durable, polymer-coated floor.
We can even do it in team colors for the real fans out there.
Oh, that is a good idea.
A garage floor your friends will love?
Check. In a color that makes you proud?
Check. Installed by locals who can actually pronounce Duval?
Checkmate!
Transforming your floors, making them great. Checkmate.
Visit CheckmateCoatings.com. That's CheckmateCoatings.com.
Want appliances that last forever? Hi, I'm Jeff Martin from Greystone Kitchens and Martin Appliance. All over Florida, people are stuck with big box stores for appliances. But in Jacksonville, you have Martin Appliance, the big deal store. Your washer and dryer should perform well and not be disposable. Grab the GE Commercial Laundry with 5 years full warranty, or get Speed Queen washers and dryers from us with 7 years parts and labor warranty. Get one and be done. Let us refresh your kitchen with new appliances or completely renovate your whole house. I'm a licensed contractor, for crying out loud. Come see us on Phillips Highway just north of the Avenues Mall across from the Regal Cinema. Call us at 904-213-9100 or click GreystoneKitchens.com. Hurry in for sale prices at Martin Appliance and remodeling deals from Greystone Kitchens. Don't hesitate to renovate.
What you see is
Here's the deal. The government is over $38 trillion in debt, which means the IRS isn't slowing down. And the tax code is complex and unforgiving. So it's not surprising if you're one of the millions of Americans that owe back taxes to the IRS. Unfortunately, they're the world's most powerful collection agency, with the ability to garnish your wages, seize your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. But don't be stressed or worried any longer. We're Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. We have resolved over $3 billion in tax debt for our clients. Our award-winning professionals deal with the IRS every single day, protecting our clients and preparing them for the best possible resolution. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, give Optima a call today.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Superior Plumbing and Pipelining offers emergency plumbing services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Got to make sure the money doesn't run out.
Mike Lester, fiduciary wealth manager and founder of Talon Wealth.
If we knew exactly how long we were going to live, it would be really, really easy to put together a financial plan.
But we don't know. And stretching your savings to last for decades can be complicated. Call to find out if Mike and his team at Talon Wealth can help you smooth your road to retirement. 904-454-4000.
Advisory services offered through Talent Private Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor.
Hi, I'm Dr. Michael Spencer, and welcome to our proud team here at Riverside Dental and Implant Center. It's really simple, folks. If you have bad teeth, we'll fix it, like we've done for thousands of very happy patients. Know this, we're not going to try to sell you anything, just lay out your options for you to decide. So for full arch implants or whatever you need, call us at 1-877-NEW-TEETH for a free consultation. Why us?
Because we really do care.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Born on America's darkest day, September 11th, 01, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, they have been helping American heroes ever since. Heroes like U.S. Army Sergeant William Bernard McKenna, exposed to burn pits. McKenna later died from T-cell lymphoma, leaving his wife, Dina, and 2 daughters. Tunnel to Towers honored Sergeant McKenna. They paid off the family's mortgage in honor of all of his sacrifice. Donate $11 a month. If you have a car to donate, if you have land to donate, go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org today.
This could happen to you. It could happen to anyone. Jacksonville community, we come together. We stand as one to help each other.
Continue the tradition of stepping up for our friends and neighbors.
Call 855-916-9500 and make a difference in a child's life now.
Thank you to Dan Araki. Let's hear from everyone in the Seaside Claims Services call center. Thank you to all. We have all these volunteers who are ready to take your call, and not everyone is on a phone. And I'm feeling a little pressure that not everyone is on the phone, because now we're in the Fair and Fair Performance Studio here at Cox Media Group, so they're all looking at me. Well, actually, they might be looking at Scampy now from the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp, so thank you for taking the pressure off, Scampy. Scampy's still here because we have one more incentive on the table. If you call 855-916-9500, the Jumbo Shrimp have generously given us season tickets for the 2027 season. Let me repeat that. The AAA National Champion Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp, let's hear that, have donated a pair of tickets to the 2027 season. So all of next season, all it takes is you donating $2,000 or more. The value on that is at least $2,500 or higher, so you're already getting a deal. Plus, you're helping the Child Cancer Fund, and you're keeping families together, like we just heard from Frances about Kalani and Josiah, and we thank her for finding time in her day. She said before the Care-a-thon she wanted to come in person. Well, Kalani just got home from a lung transplant. Josiah just got home from a lung transplant, and Kalani's in treatment right now. So we told Frances, you worry about them. You worry about yourself. And we'll find a way to connect with you. So thank you, Francis, for your generosity in coming on the phone. 855-916-9500. We have a donation match until 1 o'clock from Duval Asphalt, our presenting sponsor, and we want to use up all of Mitchell Gant's money. He was here earlier, so let's use all of his money. If you've already donated, I want to personally say thank you, and then challenge you to ask your friends, your coworkers, family, anyone in your social network and your personal and work network to match you or step up and donate as well. So if you have donated, thank you, and I hope you're still listening to us because of the moving stories that we're hearing. Stories like Heather Richardson, and we were introduced to Brinley 3 years ago?
Yeah, 4 years ago.
Bring the microphone
4
right
years
up.
ago.
Say hello to Scampy.
Hi, Scampy.
4 years ago, we were introduced to you and Brinley Piper. And where was she at that point in her journey when she was diagnosed?
She was a baby. So she was only 9 months old. So on her 9-month checkup at the doctor, she had some bruises on her that kind of came out of nowhere. We thought it was just from her just learning to crawl, because she literally just started crawling probably a couple of weeks before that. So, in the checkup, I had the doctor just kind of check her out, and he felt around her spleen, and he was faced away from me, so I couldn't see any reaction or anything. But he turned to me and he said, she needs to have blood work done. Just rule everything out. And he kept his demeanor, so I didn't think anything of it, and was like, okay, yeah, give me a peace of mind too. But he said, you need to go today. So the lab was already full, so I wanted to go to Wolfson's and get it done there because she was so little. So we went the very first thing next morning. We were one of the first appointments. Drew her blood, got home, and I went back to work, took her back to daycare because she was in a little daycare. And we got the call at noon from our pediatrician, and he said, results are in. You need to get to the ER immediately. She has either a severe infection or it's leukemia. So immediately I thought, well, there's no way it's leukemia. I mean, it's cancer. It doesn't happen to children. It doesn't happen to my child, and there's no way. And so we rushed to the ER. They did a whole lot of tests and came back, and the oncologist team came in, and sure enough, it was leukemia. And you don't think much of it, so immediately cancer, I'm like, okay, it's over. There's no chance. Like, cancer to me means death. There's not any beating it. So, the doctors told me, we hopefully caught it early enough. There's tons of new stuff out there to get her through it, and it's just going to be a long journey. And sure enough, it was a very long journey. Since she was so young, she had to stay in the hospital for most of the time. So from 9 months, even on her first birthday, we had to be in the hospital. So overnight stays. So my Weaver 4th floor is complete family now, and I love them all. But she grew up in the hospital, unfortunately. She did get to ring the bell in February of what year was that? 22. Yeah, 22. She got to ring the bell. It was super exciting, although in the back of my head, I knew that wasn't the end of it. I knew either she was going to have long-term effects from all the strong chemo, and I just had a gut feeling that it wasn't going to stay gone. And sure enough, we went on a family vacation in that June, and during the vacation, I could just kind of tell with her mannerisms and things like that, like, it was coming back. And sure enough, I took her for blood as soon as we got back, the day after we got back, and it was already back in her blood. So this time it was more aggressive, so they had to give us adult chemos because they were out of child cancer chemos. So we did that. They rushed us to Philly because Philly has a bunch of trials that are going on. We had to stay there for 6 weeks, and then came back. And as soon as we got back, it was already back to where it was before we went to Philly. And there were just so many different chemos they tried, new medicines, trials. I mean, you name it, and we probably had it done. We were just trying everything we could to save her. And she hadn't lived anything, like she barely started walking, and, her personality was just starting to come out. She was just the light of the day, so unfortunately, though, on our third trip to Philly, she ended up in the NICU. They actually told us, say your goodbyes. She has 24 hours. And sure enough, the next morning, she popped up out of bed, all the families by her bedside, and she was a Spitfire. She was ready to go. So she beat that and gave us more time with her. And it was a miracle because we said our goodbyes, really. So we did get a couple more months with her after that. And then, unfortunately, the chemos took over her body, and they damaged her liver. They damaged her spleen and her intestines. And once it got to her intestines, she had another hole in her intestine. And they just couldn't repair it. She was too weak. So we had a week with her after that moment, and then she passed away. Actually, a week. Next Wednesday will be 2 years exactly.
She's here with us. Brinley got her butterflies on August 26th of 2024. That smile is how I choose to remember her. That smile, and she's on these photos as well. And you've got millions of them probably in your camera roll, right?
Oh, yeah. Always smiling. No matter what they threw at her, she was smiling.
I want to make sure I have more questions, but 855-916-9500 is the number. It's on your dash if you're listening to us in the car. We made sure we put the phone number easy there. You can open up the WOKV app. It should be prominently displayed as well. You can text CMG, as in Cox Media Group, to the number 707070. But if you call 855-916-9500, you can make a difference for a family. And Heather, Chris, your brother-in-law, is here as well. And you were part of Demons Behind Me, which brought these beautiful hats and all the other stuff. What does Demons Behind Me mean, by the way?
Demons Behind Me is a clothing line we started back in 2009, and it's basically we all have these different things that we go through our life, and we got to learn to put them behind us and move forward. So the concept behind the brand is to inspire people to move forward from their past and look at what's in your future. And we deal with a lot of people like Heather and other families that have went through losing family members to cancer, to overdoses, to PTSD, whatever it may be. So the brand is open for interpretation, but our goal as a brand is to help people understand that your past doesn't define your future.
Strength obviously got you through it,
Yes.
and has continued, not like it has ended. It's an everyday journey that I know you're on. Where was the Child Cancer Fund for you, Heather, on your journey?
Every step. With her being in the hospital for so many months at a time and weeks at a time, we had to quit our jobs or go on leave of absence, both of us, my husband and myself, because we also have a 10-year-old. So, they were there. They provided gas gift cards so that we could actually get to Philly and take our whole family to Philly. So that was a huge relief, trying to figure out who was going to stay back home because we couldn't afford to drive up there. And so they stepped in then, and then just giving us the relief of going out and doing these gatherings that they have. It was a light because we got to go have fun. We didn't have to think about cancer for a second. And then we also got to meet some of the other families and, and share our story and, our tips and, things like that. So they were there the entire way and still are. You guys are still here for us.
What has donations from the Child Cancer Fund, if someone is listening right now and they're hearing your story and they're like, wow, that's great. It's awesome that they were there. Tangibly, when someone calls 855-916-9500, $20, a $50 donation. I just heard the bell ring, so a $100 donation. For a family that's still going through it right now, what is it meaning for them? Like we just heard from Francis.
Yeah, it keeps their electric on. It keeps groceries in the fridge. It gets their car payment paid so they can get to and from doctor's appointments. You don't realize what all you could lose by not having a job and then having all these medical needs and hospital stays, and they're not cheap. You can't go and cook dinner anymore because you got to get it from the cafeteria or you got to do this. So paying the bills, helping get through all those costs and expenses, it's huge.
And for a family that's in it to not know who made the donation to help with financial assistance, I mean, obviously you can say thank you to the Child Cancer Fund, but to someone who's listening now, what does it mean to a family to know that the community supported you and supports families each and every day here?
It's just so heartwarming, and just to know, as big as Jacksonville is, like, it feels so small, and like everybody is family to you. Like, it helped us get through. Like, I don't know where we would have been without it.
How are you remembering Brinley today?
I mean, we just, we smile and we know that, we can fight anything because she could. It didn't bother her, and she was only 2 years old. So why should we let anything bother us and just fight and get through it?
Do you meet other moms and families? I mean, this is kind of a family reunion here
yeah,
at the Care-a-thon too.
I don't know how many hugs I've given today, but quite a few. So.
I love that.
No, the cancer community is it's not rare. I mean, people think it's rare, but it is really not. And so I have become really close friends with several of the moms and bereaved mothers and fathers, and then also ones that are in active treatment and some that have beat it. So it's just one big family, and we all support each other, and we're all here for each other. And yeah, it is just a big family.
You mentioned Brinley's got an older brother, Ryder, and
yes.
he had a busy summer. He's in a lot of stuff right now, right?
Yes. First year of tackle football, and he's in baseball. And
how is he doing handling this journey that he's been on? I mean, as a brother, a big brother.
He is a complete inspiration to everybody. I mean, he takes day by day, and he wants to excel at everything. And, he's like, basically his mantra is, what can I do to make my sister proud? And that's how he lives life. I mean, it's beautiful. It really is. And he teaches us a lot. So
Brinley was small, but what did she teach you? What did you learn from that Spitfire, as you said?
Oh man, yeah. Her favorite word was no, by the way. And you can ask all the nurses. Like, it was no. So no, but she really just took it day by day and didn't let anything bother her. And, she fought and she did what she had to do, which, like I said, she was only from 9 months to 3 years old. She still knew the medicine would help, or was hoping to help, and she would take it without a fight. I mean, you just got to face your battles and get through them, and it was just phenomenal to watch.
As we're approaching the 1 o'clock hour, and Duval Asphalt has had a lot of money on the table in a challenge, and we still have 2 minutes at 855-916-9500. If the story of Brinley and Heather Richardson's story inspires you to consider a donation of any amount, and I know you're tired of hearing me say it. I get a little tired of saying it too from time to time because I've said it so many times, but no amount is too small.
No amount.
$10 matters.
We want to make sure we get in on this double donation. So
you got 2 minutes. What do you got here?
The Demons Behind Me Foundation is donating $1,000 to the Care-a-thon. And just kind of to lead into that, you asked Heather what she's doing to help keep Brinley's memory alive. Heather has taken over as our CFO of our foundation. So Heather's passion now for what she received from the Care-a-thon and some of the other foundations has led her into help running a foundation that's helping others now.
Giving back.
Giving back.
Can you make the phones ring again, Heather?
Yeah,
What's that
absolutely.
number?
Reach out. It's 855-916-9500.
And thank you to Demons Behind Me for the $1,000 generous donation, which is now doubled. 855-916-9500. So the number that was just handed to me, I got to do some quick math on the fly as we approach 1 o'clock. Our new total, drum roll please, $174,808. Woo! We've come
All right,
a
we're
long
too
way.
far away from 200,000. Let's go. Let's get to 200,000.
What's the
Quick.
number?
855-916-9500.
Make the phones ring for Brinley, for all of these kids, the warriors who are in the fight, and their families. Show them that you're stepping up to care for them as the 2026 Care-a-thon presented by Duval Asphalt continues on 104.5 WOKV.
Tell us what's happening in the news, traffic, or weather with Open Mic in the News 104.5 WOKV Jacksonville's News and Talk app. Sponsored by Madden Advisory Services, saluting all military and first responders.
Hey, Cheryl, here we are again talking about financial stuff.
Yeah, we are. But today I want to pin you down on something, Mike Lester.
Is it, are we taking wrestling or what?
No.
Okay.
No.